I remember it was a beautiful day. I was learning how to ride my bike without training wheels for the first time, and then it all went black. I woke up. I was in an ambulance. They were asking me my age and my name. Then it went dark again. I awoke in the hospital. I didn't know what exactly happened, but I knew I had to ask the two people that would know what did. This is that story. So now I have with me my parents, known as Mom and Dad. First question, where were we living at the time, and what do you remember about that time period?
We were living in Hammond. We were renting a house on California Street in Hessville part of Hammond. It was actually a nice house in the corner and had a yard, and everyone had their own room, so it was nice and spacious, and we liked it. And they had outside, there was sidewalks around the corner. We had on the corner, so we had the sidewalks. So it was perfect for like riding our bikes and stuff, and we did a lot of that.
Mom, what about you?
Fenced in backyard. You guys had a pool and a sandbox, built-in sandbox.
You liked the kitchen.
I liked the kitchen. Real neat basement with your own little room for painting, and
Yeah, it had a finished basement. Yeah, it was nice.
And do you recall what year that was?
Oh, it was 1992, around there.
Were we there for
A year.
a year?
Yep.
Okay. From what I remember, I was 6 when the accident happened, so it was 93, right?
Yeah, Jessica may have been 3.
Yeah, might have been 93. Early 90s.
Do you remember what month that was? I don't remember if it was like spring or summer.
It was warm enough to be outside to ride bikes, so I don't think it was hot. I don't think it was summer yet. It might have been spring.
The not so fun part, what do you remember about what happened?
We were doing the thing that all parents do with their kids. They teach them how to ride the bike, and you weren't real sure about it, so I was running with you till you got the feel of the balance. Every kid has to do that, before they learn. It doesn't make sense. Looking at a bicycle, it doesn't look like it would work. It looks like magic. You're riding on a bike. How's it standing up? But once you're on it and you hold kids and they kind of get a feel for the balance. From what I remember, on this day, after doing it so many times, you finally got it, and we were really excited. You were going back and forth. I don't know. It seemed like a million times. It was probably like 20 times. And then one time on the way back, you hit like a place in the sidewalk that was like jaggedy, and you hit it just right where it turned your front wheel, and you flipped. I don't think you flipped over the handlebars, but you flipped down, and right. It was really fast. It hit your face right on the sidewalk, and then you didn't move. We were like freaking out, like, oh my God, we thought, you died, or, definitely were unconscious because you weren't moving. And then I picked you up and we rushed, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to move someone that's got head trauma, but instinctively or not, I picked you up and brought you into the house, and we called 911. They came right away. You had started coming around by the time they got there, and they checked you out and they took you in the ambulance. And you were there for almost a week. I think it was like 4 days.
Is that about the same thing you remember, Mom?
Except for the part I was walking out of the house to go pick up a friend who was coming over for a cookout, and you weren't riding towards me, you were riding away from me. And when you hit that dip where the sidewalk didn't meet is when your wheel turned, and you were saying, look at me, look at me.
I don't remember that, but whatever, I'm sure that's true.
Because you were proud that you were doing it by yourself.
Yeah, you were doing great.
Dad was running along the side of it.
I was really surprised when you fell, because it was such a shock. It wasn't like the first couple times that you tried it and you fall, because naturally you're gonna fall. It was like after you got it and you were done learning, and then you fell. It was like very, very awkward and weird.
Okay, because I remember talking to you guys about it before, and when I got to that, whatever that was in the sidewalk, it was like a crack or like a dip or something. I remember turning the wheel, like to turn around to come back, and that's when I went up and over and landed face first.
I don't remember that.
No, you were still going straight.
It was in the middle of your little route. It wasn't like at the end. I thought you were coming toward me, but it could have been the other way around. Because there was one spot in the sidewalk that we were kind of keeping an eye on that you weren't going to go into the bad part. We kind of steered you away from that thing, and for whatever reason you hit it wrong that time. That's all. It was a fluke.
You don't remember seeing me turn the wheel at all?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. That's.
No,
I thought we talked about that. I
It
thought you
was
said-
so fast that
Mm-mm.
that would have been such a small thing at the time that I would never remember that. I don't think that much thought went into it. It was just a fluke, like, bam.
And you kept kind of fading in and out, and then when I was on the phone with the lady from 911, you started coughing and choking, and she told me that you might be trying to have a stroke because of the brain injury. It was very scary.
Yeah,
Fun times.
it was scary. And every parent blames themselves. It's like we just assumed there would be shitty parents because who lets their kid do that? But I mean, I fell on my bike a million times, and knowing my
It's
mom,
just the
she
way
probably
you
just told me to shake it off.
Because, like you said, he hit the sidewalk with his face. He
Right.
didn't have free hands.
Right. He wasn't riding long enough to know how to fall. He just fell so fast that for a second you didn't realize what happened. You know what I mean? Like, did someone shoot you, or it was really fast.
Knocked all your teeth out.
Yeah. Well, not all of them. But
Well, most
front
of
of
them.
them. Yeah.
And your lips are like
Yeah.
smeared.
It was bad.
It was
It
bad.
looked like you got hit by a car. Like
Yeah.
you see people that get hit by a car. That's not. It didn't look like someone that just fell off their bike.
And it's interesting that you said that about my teeth because I remember I still had the two front teeth.
They
They
had
were
to be
just
pulled out.
they had to be pulled out because they were pushed up. But I lost other
Yeah.
teeth too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just those two that I hit.
No, if you remember right, your whole mouth
It was overcrowded.
Yeah, and when you fell the way your teeth hit your lips, and then your lips hit the cement, it just like destroyed your top lip.
Just ripped my lips off.
Yeah, basically.
You were lipless.
How long was I in the hospital from
Probably
that?
4 days.
We started to leave.
Yeah, and he started throwing up, which is a sign of concussion.
Concussion.
Okay,
And
so
they said we better keep him for observation.
And the next day, the doctor and everything, they said, yes, you had a concussion.
was that the only major thing? My face was messed
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Yeah, really, because
You're
nothing.
Not a little. You look bad.
Yeah, but he's asking us whether any other injury, like his arm or anything.
No, it was mainly your mouth.
Hmm.
And your head.
Oh, your face.
So that's why I'm so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were about to be signed up for a face model, and then that happened. Then the exposure to nuclear energy.
It's always something.
Yes.
And you got all kinds of little toys, and Grandma and them came to see
Attention.
you, and you healed so fast.
Look, she's crying.
Because you healed. It makes me cry.
Oh, well, don't cry.
No, because that hospital that you were at wasn't
Great.
telling us to take you home when you had a concussion, and then they'd come in there and,
Was it St. Margaret's?
yes.
Yeah. And they're
They-
closed now.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'd come in there to clean your mouth and stuff, and they were so rough.
They were
with
very
you.
rough with you, yeah. they were-
Crying.
Yeah.
Finally, I said, stop.
Yeah.
I'll take care of them. Stop.
We had incidences with them before we took them there
Mm-hmm.
for x-rays when they tried to get them to stand up, remember?
Yeah, that was the same time, honey.
Oh, was it?
They were trying to get you to stand up there to take the x-rays, and you were so sick, and it had just been a major accident, and they're trying to get you to stand up by yourself.
Do you think that was one of the factors that led to us moving from there?
No, actually,
No?
no. Wasn't that, there was nothing at fault. It was just a fluke. It wasn't like, oh man.
It was a nice neighborhood. It was a nice
Yeah,
big
it was nice at the time.
fenced-in
And
backyard.
at the end of our street, there was a giant park. Remember? Where we
Bog
go to
Beast.
play the games,
Yes.
the Bog Beast, and it was actually not bad. You
Yeah.
know?
Other big thing I wanted to ask about was there a difference in my personality afterwards?
Yes.
Okay, right away.
You will.
Well,
What do
yeah.
you think?
When you started acting more and more,
Reserved,
yeah.
cautious,
And then we
overly
read
cautious.
something or someone told us that it could be brought on by head trauma. Children that end up being more, like you had a very outgoing personality. You were very
Yeah.
much, you would dance and you would do
Play
performances
guitar.
for people, play guitar, you had no problem doing anything.
After that, you wouldn't go in anything that went fast. We couldn't drive the car on the expressway with the windows down.
Yeah.
You thought you were going to fly out of it. Yeah, there was a lot of little things
Yeah. And
that
maybe,
changed.
maybe that would have been, you would have been that way anyway, like after puberty or whatever, because kids change, their personalities change. But that could have been brought on by that.
Yeah, because you were 5, 6.
About 6 or something, yeah.
And then all this stuff with the windows being up if you were going fast, or you couldn't go over a hill on an expressway. All that happened right after that. It wasn't puberty. And remember, he'd hang on to Jessica like she was going to fly out the window.
Oh, and how did she react?
At first she laughed because she was nervous, and she was only like 2 or 3, and so she really wasn't sure what was going on. All she knew was that something was going on, and then so she got excited and started laughing, and then I think once it started sinking in that it was something serious and unfortunate, and then she started crying. When she saw that you were hurt. Because she really, really, really looked up to you. Remember, she used to follow around like, you were it for her, Yeah.
And she started crying.
Yeah, she cried.
Yeah, she remembers the blood on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a tie-dye shirt on, and it was covered in blood. And I remember going to the gas station and running into somebody that I knew. And they were like, what the hell happened to you?
I remember I was wearing an orange Ninja Turtles shirt.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, it was orange, but this is orange and red. As far as the personality change, did that affect anything else, or was it just something that you guys were like, well, I guess now he's very cautious?
You weren't as free like as...
It wasn't like all of a sudden everything, you know what I mean? It was little gradual, little things here and there, and then it just got worse. It wasn't automatically you were just like, hiding from everything, It was very slight and very...
Just not as outgoing.
Yeah,
not as
it was...
free-spirited, It was a trauma, and that's what they said. It could change your personality when you had trauma at an early age.
Yeah. But you did eventually get back on your bike.
Yeah.
Out here in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
With the ground softer.
Do you remember what happened when I first rode my bike?
No, what?
I was riding it out in the field out here, and I had stopped to take a break because I was still a little nervous about getting back on the bike. So I stopped, took a break, went to go pet one of the horses. I think it was Sunny. And I went to pet him, and my arm touched the electric fence.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
I think everybody has hit that fence at one time.
Yeah.
But it was right after that, so of course it happened. Do you ever think about when that happened, or you just try not to think about it because it's disturbing?
It pops up, and mom took it a little harder. I think I'm not happy about it, but I think every kid has at least one of those stories where they're hit by a car or worse. I got hit by a car too.
You both got hit by a car.
That's your that's your
Alex got hit.
And Alex got hit.
Yeah, that's your childhood trauma story. So everyone's got at least one.
Yours was the fence through the face?
Yeah, I had the fence in the face. Yeah.
And then people tried to kill you at various times, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Broke my middle finger doing a cartwheel in our living room.
Oh.
That one's not as bad.
No, I got hit by a car. Like I said, broke my new sandals. Oh my God! It was pretty upsetting.
Doesn't matter. Sandals.
Ran home carrying my broken sandal with my bike in the street.
Ah.
Well, I did ride a bike again, and I guess I'm still alive. So thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
This event had a lasting impact on me. I really think that it changed something about myself that I can't see. It made me miss events, like parties, and just hanging out with people. Even when I wanted to go, there was a part of me that would still scream, no. I suppose it's always going to be one of those things that I'll ponder, and I'll wonder what life would have been like had it not happened. It was one of those moments in my life that I'll always look back on when I think of these memories from those lost days.